Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Adjustment meeting for the city of Bettendorf for March 13th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Spranger. Tansey. Tombergs.
Yes.
Vermillion.
Yes.
Okay, we have three people here, so we have a quorum. The next item is the board procedures. This is the Board of Adjustment. We're a 5-member board. We are appointed by the city council, and we review certain things that are properly before us, such as special uses and variances, and we have one of each. We have a couple of those this evening. The next is the board to review the minutes of the January 9th, 2025 meeting. Do I have any additions or corrections?
No.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes. I got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. You have in your packet the 2025 Board of Adjustment Annual Report for your reference. The staff provides that every year. If anybody have any questions concerning that report?
No.
Okay, do we actually have to approve it or just review it, I think?
It
It says approve. You like a
I think
motion?
you need to approve it.
Okay.
Motion to approve the annual
I
minutes.
got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It's approved. Next is public hearings. We have 3 public hearings tonight. The first is case 25009-SU. I assume that's for special use. At 4648 Woodland Court, it's an R2. It's a special use permit to allow an accessory dwelling unit submitted by Windmiller Design and Build. I think we can take the first 2 together for purposes of discussion. Second one is case 25010, VAR, for variance, for it's the same piece of property, and it's a variance to increase the allowable size of the accessory building unit from 800 square feet to 840, and it's also submitted by Windmiller Design Build. Staff report.
Thank you, Chairman. So the first case, as mentioned, we have a special use permit and an associated variance. This is Windmiller Design Build, Lot 14 in the Woodlands Second Edition, I believe. This is on Woodland Court. The lot is located on the west side, so just behind that is Crow Creek Park. This proposal is part of a new home build permit. The future land use map designates this area as neighborhood light. Surrounding areas are also neighborhood light except for the park behind it. The zoning is R2 single family. I'll note the R2 single family residence district ADUs are permitted by special use, so here we are. The plot plan for lot 14 is a large lot, 27,000 square feet, 27,600 actually. A large driveway is associated with the proposal, including that could park 2 cars. And then in addition, a 4-car garage is associated with the proposal. The proposed ADU is located in the northwest part of the build out, labeled the casita option. And then they are connected via foundation and roof line by an open patio porch stoop. Here's a proposed foundation plan. I'll note this proposed build out again is connected by the similar foundation. So it's got a frost depth wall connecting all of this. A footing, sorry, not wall, open wall. And then you have the garage area here. Here's the floor plan. So that ADU, what makes it an ADU, it has a living quarters, kitchen, bathroom, and sleeping quarters. Qualifies it as a dwelling unit per code. It's accessory because it is the second unit on the lot, not the principal structure. Our current code allows these if attached. It is attached by the roof line and the foundation. They'd have to be between 400 square feet and 800 square feet, and that's the associated variance. This is the elevation drawings of the the whole structure. I'll note that it's indiscernible to find where the actual ADU is, the character, the design. So from a standpoint, you can't really tell that there's a separate dwelling unit there. There's front and side views. The rear view for this is gonna be obviously that park, so it's very wooded. You're not gonna have any neighbors back there, so, and then from the front view, you have that large garage area. Excuse me, that's a side-loaded garage, apparently. I thought it was a front-loaded garage, as you can see in the bottom drawing. From the special use permits perspective, it needs to meet all standards outlined in 1115-9E, and staff does contend that meets those standards. Staff also contends that the private nature of the proposal does not interfere with or negatively affect any neighboring property, and recommends approval of a special use permit. Taking a look at the variance request for the ADU, I'll note that as mentioned, the allowed is 800 square feet, proposed is 840 square feet. That measurement was taken, I believe, submitted by the applicant, given the footprint of the foundation, so 30 by 28. Because of the topography of this lot, the foundation wall is actually gonna be a little larger by, I think, 4.5 inches than the outer wall. So you have some exaggerated floor area there. And then the interior floor area, actually, if measured out, is 28.9 by 26.8 1/4. So you're looking at 767 square feet. Our code just says verbatim that cannot be larger than 800 square feet, so it doesn't give a measuring methodology. Given that vague guidance, staff would note this variance request would be an increase of 5%, and sees no harm done on the surrounding property, with similar explanation for the special use permit, and would recommend approval of this request. That, I think the more accurate measurement would be of either the interior or that actual wall square footage. Having said that, staff contends the proposed special use permit and variance meets all city standards and code requirements, and recommends approval for both case 25009 special use permit and case 25010 variance. I can take any questions.
Any questions from the commission?
I'm just wondering, is this the first of this kind of a supplemental building?
We had another one in
Yeah,
our
there was
history.
Did, I don't remember that.
And it
Year or
was
two ago?
a few years back. I think it was
Okay.
done by Shabby Chic, did a similar
Okay.
one, and it was approved.
Just wondered if, because, you know,
Because
there's gonna be, this is gonna just crop up more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't as popular maybe in past
Right.
history, and I think maybe they're
Right.
becoming more popular.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor of this?
Mr. Chairman, I do have a letter, email that I
Okay.
would like read into the record. I think you were provided a copy.
Yes, I
digitally.
did.
And it was from, it was addressed from William Burris and Dixie Burris at 4635 Woodland Court, and it was in support of both measures.
Okay,
And that'd be the neighbor to across the street.
across the street, is it?
Yeah.
And they were in favor of it, and there's nobody that,
Yeah, of specifically both the variance and the,
right,
Special
but
use.
nobody was opposed to either one of them.
none received in
Okay.
opposition.
And
And
there's
I
no-
believe there's only one vacant lot neighboring to the south of this property. And this property, the proposed ADU would be on the north side of that property where there is a current house.
And there's no one in the audience to speak in favor of or opposed, so what's your pleasure?
I make
Can
a
we-
motion,
go ahead. Go ahead.
we approve case 25-009-SU and case 25-010-VAR today.
And I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second, roll call vote?
Gallagher.
Yes.
Tombergs.
Yes.
Vermillion.
Yes.
Okay, so it passes, thank you. And the next item is case 25011 SU 3262 Ridge Point. It's a C1 district. It's a special use permit to allow an outdoor service area with alcohol submitted by Will Ninji for IMC Construction. Staff report.
Thank you, Chairman. This is located just south of Middle Road, or east of Middle Road and north of Ridge Point. It's kind of near the junction of Belmont and Middle Road. The request is for an outdoor patio with alcohol service. The proposal is part of a building permit application which has been submitted proposing alteration of the far east unit of an existing building, which will be the future home of Melly's Pancake House. The proposed restaurant patio are shown on the east side of the building, so in the vacant area. I'll note this building has, for some reason, been built on 2 lots, but that's a problem for another day. The future land use map designates the site as community commercial. The current zoning is neighborhood commercial C1. The similar designations on the future land use map and the zoning map exist. You have very similar type of either strip malls or small restaurants in this area. You also have a child child daycare located nearby, coffee shop, and bank, now coffee shop, all nearby off of Ridge Point. The submitted plan shows a 586 square foot outdoor patio. I'll note the existing building was approved with a site plan, so approved by council, that included an additional building. That additional building has yet to be built, may not be built, but those future building plans are shown on the plot plan. The proposed patio would occupy 3 parking spaces of that future building. Staff does contend that we would have to reanalyze the future users of that building. This site plan is quite old, I believe, and economics market have changed. So given the temporary nature of the build out for a patio, we feel comfortable that we'd be able to remove the patio or have the builder redesign the second half of that site plan if necessary. So it's not taking existing parking away. This is grass and or sidewalk, I believe.
Yeah, but could you just, on that site plan, just show them so they can see both at home and where exactly you're talking about? Yep, thank you.
Yeah, and I think I have a aerial version here.
Thank you.
That's not final plat. But you can see where the patio is. It's just going to be, I guess they're showing actually, they're taking away 3 parking spaces, but they're showing parallel parking spaces. So it's really taking away 1 if needed for this future build out. But there's no parking lot right now being associated with this build out. I'll get into that here. Given the current users in this building are a physical therapy, and then it's called Mathnasium, which is a after-school tutoring. The proposed hours of the Melly's Pancake House are 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Mathnasium tutoring, its peak hours are after school. They do have some Saturday, there might be some confliction, but staff feels the users really would be compatible for shared parking existing on site, which is, I think, 44 spaces. The floor plan's shown here, so we're talking 6 tables in the outdoor. Majority of the seating's indoors, and this is like a breakfast lunch with probably light alcohol use associated with it. What else to add here? So covered the parking, the hours of operation. The surrounding uses are compatible. We're looking at a vacant area to the east, more vacant land east of Ridge Point. It's a zone commercial. And then you have Middle Road to the north. So really from a noise perspective, we're looking at a compatible uses as well. Given all that, staff contends the surrounding uses are compatible with an outdoor alcohol service associated with the neighborhood breakfast restaurant, and the parking plan for the existing building would be minimally impacted due to the offsetting hours of proposed and existing uses. Those special use permits shall be approved only if they meet the standards 1115.9 are met, and staff contends they are. It also contends that it enhances the character of the area and serves both public and private interests and does not negatively affect any neighboring property. Staff recommends approval of case 2511 SU. I can take any questions.
Any questions? Go ahead.
The only question I have is that road, the Ridge Road, Ridge Point, can you actually park on there if it's too busy? Because I've been over at the Vibrant Coffee Shop and searched for parking. And are they allowing any cars to park along that street?
I don't think they posted it no parking.
I don't see no parking, but I'm just wondering,
So if it's not
Because-
posted, I believe it's allowed, but I don't.
Yeah, so we have our parking, our no parkings is enumerated in code. It's a whole list of streets. And unless the city engineer can foresee, it's usually initiated by the city engineer and public works director, and then the chief of police. Unless they see a reason for snow storage or site distances, et cetera, they usually do not enact it. And I think because of the relatively vacancy, a lot of vacancy in this development, there hadn't been any no parking signs posted. I think farther south there was because of some parking conflicts with Atomic Coffee and some of the dentists, correct, Mark?
Correct.
Yeah, one side only. I'm not sure about this area,
Okay.
but I should note that all the entrances that exist here and the round, it's not a typical roundabout, but it is a roundabout. I don't think that's by code. I don't think you can park on that as well. So now people have been probably, but it's kind of a unique road. So that could be looked at if in the future, if there is an issue. That's how we've typically handled those situations at the city.
I'm just shocked at how busy the parking is at Vibrant.
Vibrant, yeah.
And, I mean, have really searched for parking on some days, so that's what, it just makes me think. Not that,
I would also note that that use is different than staff envisioned it when it was brought to us.
No kidding.
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, this site, I believe that it's all in the same ownership. The owner of the building intends to, right now, build out that site plan, but that's just based on his word. I would not be surprised if there's looked at some alternate uses, and so the parking would probably expand. It's going to expand no matter what if developed. So there's also that. Though the patio would have to, it could stay, I guess, but it'd be a bit odd to have a patio between two buildings. I guess we have that other places though.
We do that, yeah. Out at TV, yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Nobody objected or nobody submitted anything?
Correspondence. No correspondence, sir.
All right, do I have a motion to approve or deny?
I'll move to approve case 25-011-SU.
I'll
And
second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, roll call vote.
I'm looking for Lisa. Gallagher,
Yes,
Tonberg,
Yes,
Vermillion.
Yes.
okay, so that passes. Anything else to come before us tonight?
We want to bring you some updates on zoning code. We talked a little bit before the meeting about how we'd like to do that. It's, for your perspective, probably you don't need the whole thing, but we have a few items that we do want to collect and bring to you and get your input on next meeting or two, and then we can provide more offline conversation individually if you'd like as well.
Okay, sounds good.
And we have been bringing to our Plan and Zoning Commission, we're going chapter by chapter in very summary format. So that's all online. You can watch. It's usually we've been cut half hour only, and then we shut her down. So we've kind of gone over procedures, some changes there, how we look at site plans, maybe less review, possibly more administrative review, more zoning districts and combining zoning districts or having more zoning districts, maybe limit some special use permits, but also expand them in other ways. So they do affect the Board of Adjustment, but we're just kind of getting into the meat and potatoes of the zoning and the setbacks. And so we'd like to hear your input in the future about, how it affects the board.
Good. Sounds like a good plan. All right,
That's it.
that's it. Thank you all. Stand adjourned.